local morning show, giving you exclusive access into people, businesses, and events in your community. I'm your host, Maddie Muschin. Happy Friday, everybody. We are live weekdays at 9:30 right here on Civic Center TV. Before we dive into today's show, every week we highlight someone, an educator, student, business, or organization from Greater West Bloomfield community going above and beyond. If you would like to submit an entry for someone, you can scan the QR code on the screen and fill out the Google form with the person's name, their contact information, and reasons why they should be recognized for the Person of the Week. Now let's go check out what's going on in our Greater West Bloomfield community. The West Bloomfield Township Public Library has started their virtual programming that includes a variety of interactive events for all ages. With this week's events concluding, let's take a look at some of their great events happening next week. Next week on Tuesday, they have their 9:30 and 11 a.m. virtual Positively Preschool classes and their virtual storytelling on Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. with Laron. They'll also be having a book talk at 7 p.m. next Thursday with Amor Tolles to talk about his book, The Lincoln Highway. If you would like to register for any of these, you can do so by going to the West Bloomfield Township Public Library website in their events calendar page and register by clicking on those events. The West Bloomfield Township Public Library also has those fantastic tender topic and literacy kits that you can rent through youth services. If you're looking to either enhance your child's literacy or teach them about some of those tender topics, just contact the library to schedule a time to rent out a kit of your choice. The West Bloomfield Parks is working with the West Bloomfield Diversity Task Force to bring new free events to celebrate Black History Month. Their Black History 101 Museum is open to all ages. This event is this Saturday, tomorrow, February 5th, from noon until 3 p.m. at the library. Founded by Dr. Khalid Al-Hakim, the Black History 101 Mobile Museum is an award-winning collection of original artifacts of Black memorabilia dating from the transatlantic slave age to current hip-hop culture. They will also have a special lecture and exhibition at 10 a.m. West Bloomfield Parks is also hosting a few other Black History Month events in February, including the Love Yourself Wellness While Black event for ages 16 and up on Saturday, February 12th from 9 until 11:30 a.m. and on Saturday, February 26th from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. at the Orchard Mall. They will be hosting their Black Expo. For all these events, you can head over to the West Bloomfield Parks website to register. The last event we want to look at is the Sylvan Lake Game Nights event. This event is perfect if you're looking for something fun to do this winter. Whether you go alone or with friends, the Sylvan Lake Game Nights are a great way to safely socialize with your friends and neighbors. The Sylvan Lake Game Nights take place every Wednesday when there is not Sylvan Lake board meeting in the community center. Game night starts at 5:30 and will go to about 9 p.m. at the community center. This event is open to all Sylvan Lake residents, and you can also bring any games that you would like to play. They play mahjong, euchre, bridge. If you have any card games you would like to play, you're welcome to do so. If you have an event you would like us to feature here on the Splash Live, you can send us a message on our social media pages at Civic Center TV and Facebook at Civic Center TV 15. Coming up, I'll be talking with Suzanne Levine, Executive Director for the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. But before that, giving back to the Greater West Bloomfield community has been a lifelong goal for our Person of the Week. Through creating a one-of-a-kind ornaments sold here in the community, Susan Emerling has raised almost $2,000 for gleaners. Her gift and passion for helping the hungry is why we named Susan Emerling our Person of the Week. Our Person of the Week is someone who uses their creative gift to give back to others. Susan Emerling uses her creative gift through making ornaments from paintings she creates and turning them into beautiful, one-of-a-kind ornaments. She sells these ornaments in the Greater West Bloomfield community in order to give back to gleaners. Susan sells these ornaments on her Gleaners page as well as in-store around Keego Harbor and Sylvan Lake for $10 with 100% of the proceeds going towards her fundraiser for Gleaners. She talked to us about how these ornaments are created in order to raise money.
So that's probably the easiest thing for me to talk about because the ornaments they're so different. There's such a variety of ornaments and each one is really like a painting in itself. And everyone is different. For example, this one was created by, I actually cut up a painting that I had done, a watercolor painting, adhered it to the wood, and varnished it with a UV protection. This one has some added sequins. These ones are created, this is a can lid. All of them are hand signed on the back and a hand-drawn H for the H project. These were created by Actually, I make all the paper. I take paper and I create paint you know, I create like almost like paintings on paper. I make my own handmade paper, very colorful. And then they're all hand cut pieces adhered to this can lid and then varnished.
For more information about her fundraiser, you can check out her Gleaners page or head over to Watercolors by Susan Emerling on Facebook. Her passion for art and caring for the hungry is why we named Susan Emerling our Person of the Week. Thank you to Susan Emerling for all the work that she does to give back to those in need through her gift of art. Later on, we'll be finding out how to tell which animal made certain tracks on the snow outside. But before that, we'll be joined by Suzanne Levine, Executive Director for the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. All that and more after this short break.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
In the face of COVID-19, staying healthy is important. And now the same is true as we face the flu. Influenza has the potential to infect millions, putting lives and the healthcare system at risk. Fortunately, it's easy to protect yourself. The flu vaccine is safe and effective, and with COVID-19 still spreading, it's essential. To see how you can hit this virus head on, visit michigan.gov/flu. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer. Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine. To keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
And now, back to The Splash Live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live. I'm your host, Maddie Muschin. It is now time to talk with Suzanne Levine, Executive Director for the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce. We're going to be talking about the installation of board officers that they had this week. Suzanne, thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Thank you so much for having me on this very interesting, snowy, frozen day.
Suzanne, you had a very exciting and important week at the Chamber. You guys hosted the virtual installation of officers for the Chamber of Commerce. Let's first talk about that virtual ceremony and some details on who your new officers are.
Yeah, it's very exciting. We have a fabulous board this year. Dr. Mike Pizzamonti from Health Quest Physical Therapy. He actually, a few years ago, was our young entrepreneur of the Chamber. And we have Dr. Manu Malhotra, from Chief Medical Officer from Henry Ford West Bloomfield Hospital. He too has joined our board, and we're very lucky. It's almost like having our own private physician on the board to advise us about COVID and other ways that we can stay healthy. So we're really excited about these two new members.
Suzanne, how important is it to have this installation for the Chamber looking into the new year?
I think it's really important because I think it gives the community an opportunity to see who the board is and to hopefully engage with them. I've been trying to do this sort of new initiative where I'm actually connecting some of our members directly with them so that perhaps our board can offer them some advice, or maybe it's just a great connection for them.
Suzanne, can you give us a little bit of insight into how you guys choose the new board members for the year, what type of qualifications that they need to have, if they already need to be involved with the Chamber? If you could go into some more detail about what the qualifications are for those new board members.
Well, typically, a person that wants to be on our board has to have sort of a proven track record of doing things, service for the board. For example, at the Chamber, actually. So maybe they're a business ambassador like our Holly Francis with Connect Pay, or Eric Glick, who's a Glick law firm. They've been on the board for many years. But before that, prior to that, they showed a commitment to actually doing things, volunteering their time, so that the board has an idea that these people will be very productive and engaged board members.
Suzanne, what type of responsibilities do those board members have with the Chamber of Commerce? Obviously making sure that those businesses in the Greater West Bloomfield community are matched with each other, helping out with that, doing those Google classes that you guys offer there. But with those new board members that you guys have, what types of responsibilities will they have this year?
Well, we have several different committees that they can join. And I think the other thing that's really important to note is that typically a board is there to oversee what the executive director or the CEO or the CFO is doing. So part of their responsibility really is to make sure that I'm doing my job and making sure that we are fiscally viable, and that, all the things that I've promised the board that I would do, that I'm actually fulfilling that promise. They are not really involved in the day-to-day operations. That's why they have an executive director or a CEO or a president, but they definitely are engaged with the community, and that's why I'm trying to do whatever I can to make sure that they understand their obligation is not just to overseeing, what's going on in the chamber, but also in the community.
Suzanne, you mentioned that the board members are there to have conversations with you, making sure that all the things that you're promising and wanting to do in the community are getting carried out there. What types of conversations do you guys have at your board meetings or in day-to-day conversations about, helping the Greater West Bloomfield community, especially headed into this year?
Well, we have like a vision, and usually there are things that I've planned, whether it's our leadership breakfasts, our awards breakfasts, our health fair. We've reintroduced our Cup of Connections, where now we're going to be doing this on the second Friday of every month, where we're inviting our chamber members to open up their business and allow people to come in and network. I think there is a need from the community to want to have some in-person events. So, part of it is just, laying out a plan and then seeing what resources I need to make sure that these plans can be executed properly.
Suzanne, you mentioned having in-person events. You originally planned to host the installation of board members in person for a brunch, but with the rising number of COVID cases in Michigan, you guys decided to change it to a virtual installation. What went into that decision to decide to do it virtually?
Well, I had a discussion with the venue, and they told me there were quite a few of Omicron cases there, and I discussed it with my board, and we felt that, to be on the safe side, to be more prudent and cautious, because there were some board members that were very hesitant about, being with such a large crowd. So I discussed it with Tyler, who is phenomenal, and we worked out a plan so that we could still go ahead with the installation. And Judge D'Agostini, 48th District Court Judge, who has been phenomenal. She's a great sport. She loves officiating. She agreed also to do it virtually, and so it all kind of came together. And we're very grateful, because I think it's important for the community to understand, what the chamber is about. I'm usually the face of the chamber, but it's nice to see the people behind the scenes that are also trying to make sure that our community is vibrant and strong.
Suzanne, as we wrap up, if you wanted to share a little bit about how our viewers would be able to watch that installation of your board members or get involved with the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce.
Well, I believe that it's being replayed and it's on demand on civiccentertv.com. I'm not sure if it's on YouTube also. I guess that's something that I need to, find out from Tyler. I did send out an e-blast. I will put more information on our website on how to watch it. And certainly we're always looking for new members that can contribute to our chamber. They can contact me at wbloomfieldchamber@gmail.com or 248-626-3636, or just go to our website, westbloomfieldchamber.com, and see some of the exciting new events that we are planning. And, hopefully the pandemic, which they say is going to be endemic, won't cause any more pivots. But we're here to reinvent ourselves and make sure that our community, our business community, which is the backbone of our community, stays vibrant and strong.
Well, Suzanne, thank you so much for taking time out of your Friday to join me this morning.
Well, thank you again for all you do to serve our community.
Thanks, Suzanne. Once again, I was joined by the Executive Director for the Greater West Bloomfield Chamber of Commerce, Suzanne Levine. You can go and watch their installation of board members replaying on Civic Center TV, as well as on our YouTube page and our website as well. With all this new beautiful snow on the ground, we aren't the only ones enjoying it. The animals around Greater West Bloomfield are too. If you're curious about what types of animals make those cool tracks on the ground, we walked in the Orchard Lake Nature Sanctuary with Carol Fink, who showed us the different types of animal tracks and how to tell which animal made them. Let's go check it out. If you've ever wondered what animals made certain tracks in the snow, we walked the Orchard Lake Nature Sanctuary to get some tips and tricks from Carol Fink on how to become an expert.
Hey, good morning. My name is Carol Fink. I'm at the Orchard Lake Nature Sanctuary, one of my favoriteest places in the world. Beautiful place to be all seasons of the year. Winter happens to be one of my favorite times because in the winter woods you're able to see a lot more of the hints that nature shows us. So a lot of people come out here, families come here. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. What works for me is when I walk in the woods, I'm entering into a beautiful, sacred, magical place. So I'm actually coming into the woods. I usually stop, take a couple breaths, leave the rest of the world behind me, and come in and enjoy and be surrounded by beautiful nature.
Let's go take a look now at some of the tracks that Carol and I found outside at the Orchard Lake Nature Sanctuary.
One, they're small. Two, they hop. Three, they have a tail, and that tail rubs in the snow as they walk or run. So we came here, and they can also dive under the snow because mice, moles, and voles are really good food for predators. So they have a great ability to hide under the snow. So once again, tracks in the snow tell us a story. I'm looking at these particular tracks here. They're going in a fairly straight line, and I am assuming they are either a fox or a coyote. However, fox, coyote, they're always looking for food for their survival. So one of the ways that you can identify their tracks is they come in a straight line. They can walk in another coyote's footprints. So a lot of times if they're being pursued, it might look like there's only one coyote, but actually there could be 4 or 5 of them. So it's really awesome to look and see what's going on in the woods. Okay, back to the tracks. We've got a lot of small animals, like as we saw a lot of evidence with the mice, the jumping mice with the tail. These smaller tracks belong either to a mole or a vole, and they're very teeny little mammals that live mostly underground. They have very small eyes. But they are also, you can follow their tracks. They are really, I just think they're such an entertaining track. So they also stay low, you know, when the owls or the hawks are out. But these are either mole or vole tracks. Okay, as we travel and make our own tracks, I'm looking over here and I'm seeing deer trails. Deer usually follow each other, so a lot of times established deer trails will have several deer on them. We're looking at their feet, they've got heart-shaped hooves, so it's kind of fun to figure out, are they going this way or are they going that way?
Now it's your turn to take a hike in the sanctuary, enjoy the fresh snow, and find those unique animal tracks. Reporting for the Splash Live, I'm Maddie Muschin. Thank you to Carol Fink for giving us a quick lesson on the different types of animal tracks you may see in the Orchard Lake Nature Sanctuary. We're going to take a short break, but when we get back, I'll be talking with Safaa Elmersiri, Program Coordinator for the Oakland County United Way at Families Against Narcotics, to talk about some of the programs that they have after the short break.
We'll be right back with the Splash Live.
This message brought to you by FEMA. Home fires occur most often in winter. Keep anything that can catch fire at least 3 feet from heating equipment. And never use an oven to heat your home. Stay in the kitchen when frying, grilling, or broiling food. Turn space heaters off when you leave the room or go to bed. Make sure all vents are clear of snow and ice to allow carbon monoxide to vent outside. Have your furnace, heating system, and chimneys serviced each year by a qualified professional. Learn more at www.usfa.fema.gov.
Teens a day die from texting and driving. Don't text and drive.
back to The Splash, live.
Welcome back to The Splash Live. I'm your host, Maddie Muschin. We are now joined by Program Coordinator for Oakland County United Way at Families Against Narcotics, Safaa Elmersiri. Safaa, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Hi, good morning, Maddie. Thanks for having me.
Safaa, you had your own consulting and coaching business that helps people deal with alcohol and substance misuse, but you're also the program coordinator for United Way, Families Against Narcotics. Can you tell us a little bit about your role there?
Yes, sure. So I am the program coordinator for the United Way grant at Families Against Narcotics. And we do offer some amazing programs. One of them is Navigate, which is a peer recovery coaching and family recovery coaching services. So a peer recovery coach is someone who is in recovery and, they walk hand in hand with a person who is struggling with substance use disorder, and they assist them into getting into treatment or into detox. Then we have our family coaches, who is the person that provides support and guidance to the families who have a loved one struggling, because it doesn't just affect the person who is, using the substances, it's the whole family suffers. So how can we be able to assist, the whole family, is by signing them with a recovery coach and a family coach. And the way to receive those free services is you go to www.familiesagainstnarcotics.org, and you can request a coach online, and it's all free of services. That's the beauty of it, is all of our services are free of charge. Then we have our Narcan trainings. So Narcan is, it's a spray. It's a nasal spray that you use when someone is overdosing from substances. We offer these training sessions to any of our community members and businesses. Each attendee will receive a free Narcan kit. And to register for that, you can go to our website and go under Narcan Trainings, and you can fill out the form to receive that. Then we also have our Harmless Program, which is a harm reduction program. Not everybody's ready to quit completely, using substances. So we meet them halfway. We have a group of people who go out into the areas where people are known to use like needles, dirty needles, over and over again. So what we provide them with is clean needles. We also provide them with toiletries, blankets, food, clothing, any assistance that they need. We assist them with that. And our other program is the Sober Living Scholarships. So when we have individuals who go into a treatment center and they come out and they don't have anywhere to go, or they don't have enough funding, to get a place. So we have scholarships that offers assistance to help them cover some costs to move into a sober living. A sober living is just a house where it's a group of women or a group of men who are in recovery, and, they have to do AA meetings, NA meetings, they're required to do the recovery work in order to stay there. So we offer the scholarships for them to be able to pay for the costs, which is amazing. And for any of our program information, please visit us at our website. Again, it's www.familiesagainstnarcotics.org, or you can reach me at Safaa, SAFAA, at familiesagainstnarcotics.org.
Safaa, with those sober living scholarships, how would one qualify for these, and also going about applying for those and making sure that they meet the requirements?
So there are requirements, and anyone who is in treatment can apply for this scholarship. So once they apply for the scholarship, it goes in front of our board at Families Against Narcotics. They make that decision and they go from there. But it's usually successful because we don't want anyone to, miss out on sobriety and recovery.
Safaa, you also mentioned that Navigate program, which is their peer and family counseling and coaching. Can you tell us a little bit about those conversations that the families and those struggling with substance misuse have, and a little bit about maybe what those conversations look like between those coaches and their families?
Okay, so I can speak for myself. I am also, besides being a program coordinator, I'm also a peer recovery coach. I'm in long-term recovery. It's been over 9 years since I've been in recovery. So I really work with people who are, interested in getting sober, getting into a detox, and I really work hand in hand with them. There's no superiority, over them or anything. I'm walking hand in hand with them. I'm there for them. I provide them with the resources. We speak on a weekly basis. We meet for coffee. We meet over lunch. It's kind of like a peer-to-peer. It's not, there's no one-up,
Safaa, as we wrap up here, is there anything else that you wanted to share, either about those programs that you mentioned or contacting you for your core coaching consulting business?
The core coaching consulting is for executives and professionals, so that is separate than Families Against Narcotics. But yeah, I also wanted to mention one thing that we're growing in Oakland County with, we're able to grow with this grant. So we are in the process of starting up a fan chapter, which is a monthly forum that brings community members and leaders in the community. We have a speaker once a month, maybe a person in recovery who will come and speak about, their journey. And we are just in the process of forming a board and an advisory board. So that's in the making, and I would love to have some information put out there in the near future.
Well, Safaa, thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Once again, I've been joined by Safaa Elmersiri. She's the program coordinator for Oakland County United Way at Families Against Narcotics. That's going to do it for today's show. Thank you again to Suzanne Levine and Safaa Elmersiri for joining us this morning, and a special thanks to our Zoom producer, Jared Clark, for coordinating the Zoom and making sure our guests joined us. As always, thank you to Calvin Brown, our board operator, for making the show possible each and every morning. And thank you for joining me as we explored all of the people and events in our Greater West Bloomfield community. As always, you can make sure to tune in live on Civic Center TV, on Comcast Channel 15 and AT&T Channel 99, Monday through Friday at 9:30 to catch up on what's going on in our Greater West Bloomfield community. You can also watch our show every morning on My Michigan TV, the new streaming service that covers all the great people and events happening around Michigan. If you want to either download their free app or watch live on their website, you can head over to My Michigan TV or mymytv.com. You can also download the My app. Again, thank you so much for joining us. You can check out all of our archive stories and interviews by visiting civiccentertv.com and following us on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram at Civic Center TV and Facebook at Civic Center TV 15. For all of our friends in Sylvan Lake, Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, and West Bloomfield, I'm Maddie Mushton. Happy Friday, and thank you for watching The Splash Live.
I couldn't breathe at all. There was lots of talk about putting me on a ventilator. I thought I